Hey everybody, it's your lovely and lazy gardener Lizzie, and today we're going to do a spot of a tour. Because y'all, in my mind every day I keep saying I need to do a garden tour, because y'all, I keep these garden tours for myself so I can look back at the last one, and it really motivates me when I see how much things have grown. So before I get started, please make sure you give this video a thumbs up, and also go ahead and subscribe if you haven't subscribed already, so you'll know when I do the garden tours. All right, we're going to go ahead and dig right in, and I will say I've expanded a little bit, and I planted a lot of stuff, and a lot of stuff is growing, and a lot of new stuff is going on, and so this is going to take a little bit. So make sure you get your favorite drink and get comfortable, and let's go. So for this tour, I'm going to start in the front area, and then we'll move around to the main part of the garden. So some things that I did here was to put my geraniums in some baskets. So you'll see several baskets here, and I interplanted some herbs as well inside of these. So what you'll see inside of this basket here is we have some catnip, and also we have basil, we got the geraniums, and there's several sage plants in here. You can see one right here, and we have a big basil back here. So I'm actually going to be kind of chopping down some of the basil plants because y'all got basil everywhere. Here is my front room of garden, and this is all flowers, and I just kind of sprinkled flowers all throughout here, and I don't know what's growing. We got some zinnias, we got sunflowers, and there should be some other types of flowers in here, but I don't know. But the sunflowers are looking pretty good. Now we have some more baskets here, and they pretty much have the same things in them. Some geraniums, and then we have some basil. Y'all love basil. I'm gonna be planting a lot of basils. And we have some more sage back here in the back. Here's another basket, and this one just has a very tall basil in it, and geraniums. Y'all, these geraniums are the bomb. And those are the ones I got on clearance. Then we have some of my generational plants, my dumb cane plants, and they are growing a lot more leaves now, so they're looking lovely. I do plan to plant some things inside of here, and over on this side there's nothing here yet, but it's coming, so y'all be patient with me. Down here in this basket that seems to be dismantling itself, we have some sage here, and I have some borage. I actually took one of the borages that I had in here out, and we have some catnip back here. Next to it is my lovely lemon plant. And you can see the lemons here. And they are significantly bigger, but you know, they're still small, but they are growing nicely. I also have my dumb cane plant. Y'all look at this. This thing is like a tree. It has so many leaves. I'm thinking about putting a piece in the ground and see how it does. Y'all, this is a zinnia plant, and I think it got too much water. It rained yesterday. It was looking really nice, and now it's just kind of, y'all, it's done. I don't know what happened. I was so happy about the zinnia plant, and I think it just drowned. Here is my lemon balm plant, and it's looking nice, and I plan on chopping this down as well. Then we have some ground cherries, and I have been getting ground cherries off of this plant as well. So I wait until the ground cherries drop off, and then I pick them up and eat them. Here's another ground cherry plant, and y'all can see it looks very haggard. because I don't know. I think between spider mites and sun, it's just been it's in terrible shape, but it's still making ground cherries. And then I just have various pots out here with some aloe vera plants in them, and then another dumb cane plant with some sage at the bottom. Over here we have some aloe vera, and one of them looks like it's trying to die, but you know, aloe vera, it is notorious for playing possum, so I suspect it's still alive. And y'all, this is my daddy moringa plant. Y'all, look at this. I feel like it has grown like so much just within the last week. That is nice. Y'all should look at the last video. I'll put a link above and you can see what it looked like before. That's amazing. That's the daddy moringa plant. And then we have the mama moringa plant here, and she is doing lovely as well. And I grew almost all of this from seeds, so just keep that in mind. Y'all, this is my second lemon plant. This is Gerald. And Gerald has grown a lot too. There's a lot of new leaves on here. We got some leaf miners trying to step in. I'm gonna do a Hulk smash later. I might take some leaves off, but it's a lot of new leaves on here. And also, I don't know if the lemons are going to come in on these because it's so hot right now. You can see the lemons in there. But that's pretty cool because I didn't think this plant was going to do anything. So now we are at the front part of the garden, and y'all, let me just say, look at this. Y'all, this is a sunflower, and I think it's one of Bobby's sunflowers that she sent me. This is the only sunflower so far from this season and last season that is growing like a sunflower should. And it's in a container, so that's a pretty big container. And then we have some carrots on the inside there. So down here we have some mustard greens, which I was going to take off today, but I didn't have time. So y'all know how that goes. If you wait, you lose stuff. And I already see some leaf miner damage here. So I need to go ahead and harvest those mustard greens, even though it's not that much, but you know, we do what we can. Y'all, I actually have been harvesting things, and I'll put throughout this video some of my small harvest, and I kind of like it that way because I don't want to have like a whole lot coming in at one time, because really it's just me that's eating from my garden right now. And so I want to try to, well, I don't want to try to keep the harvest down, but the harvest is small. But I'll show you some of the harvest that I have. Okay, here we have our okra, and this is gonna come off today. And I have harvested lots of okra already, and it is so tasty. So I'll probably be giving okra almost every day. I have about 10 okra plants going. And then we have a marigold that doesn't seem like it wants to grow in this pot for some reason. And then I planted a whole lot more dill in here, so hopefully that's gonna come up. this is my sweet potatoes that I was supposedly making slips for, but I just haven't got to putting them in water. But look, yeah, look at that. I probably could have just planted that sweet potato and then went from there instead of trying to do slips, but I don't know how that would work out, but we shall see. Inside of my greenhouse, I have a lot going. As y'all can see, I have tons of plant babies, and I even have like some beans down here that will be going in the ground soon. See, I'm not even going to go through all of those because it's just so many. And then over here we have my black-eyed Susan, or it's a vining black-eyed Susan, y'all. Look, it's going up, up, up. It's all the way to the top already. And it's meeting up with my morning glories, which have closed for today. And here on my table, when I sit out and have some coffee, I can look at some of my radishes here. And then this is the lettuce, leaf basil, and y'all, I need to split this again. These plants grow really big, so I need to split these up again. They smell so good. Just when I touch them, I can smell it. And then here we have some butter wax beans. There's some up there. Now these haven't produced like I thought they would. You can see the plants are doing really well. I even have them shaded, but they're just not producing like I had hoped. There's a few beans on there now. They're kind of small. And then down here, I planted a sunflower. Then on this side of the trellis, we have my morning glories. And I'll put in a picture of what the morning glories look like because they're all closed right now. Y'all, let me show you my morning glories. They're like on the back side of the trellis. Aren't those pretty? They're on the inside. I guess they were hiding from the sun, even though there's no sun today. And up here, it's very cloudy today. But I've been out here working. I've been waiting for them to open up. This one is all white. That's kind of cool. Look at that, all the pretty colors. I planted a whole lot of different colors. Yay, I'm getting to enjoy my morning glories. I'm gonna have to put my umbrella back up here in a little while though. A lot of vines, but a few flowers, but they're very beautiful. So I've had a few popping up on here. So it's doing what it's supposed to do. You know, my zinnias, they're still going strong. They're looking a little bit haggard right now because it's been raining. Well, it only rained like one day since I filmed this, but that was enough to kind of make them look kind of wishy-washy. But they're still quite beautiful. Then I have another okra, well, not another okra, but more okra plants. You can see a baby there. And I'll probably take that okra off as well. Lots of okra going on. And behind there, I have some green bell pepper plants, and they're really unremarkable. You know, I'm probably gonna be pulling those up soon because I just need some real bell pepper plants because those are They're growing, but they're kind of retarded. And then down here are some foxgloves, and they're looking kind of bad too because I transplanted some of the foxgloves out today, and so the ones I left in here were not happy. This is my sweet bell pepper plant, and I think it's starting to make some peppers, but they're just kind of just poking their heads out right now. This is my lone chamomile plant, just struggling for survival in the heat. Under here we have the spearmint plant. I had to shade it because it tried to burn up, as you can see here. And then I have some lavender, which is not looking that great either. I don't know what's going on with it. You know, it's the struggle bus time right now in Florida, and so everything's gonna struggle to go through the heat. And the chives here, same thing. So here I kind of interplanted some things, and I just interplanted this, so everything looks not happy at this moment. And here I have a black-eyed Susan that hasn't opened up yet. I have a marigold plant. We got basil and borage in here, so everything is looking quite terrible, but I have high hopes for it. Here we have a tomato plant, and y'all, I don't know what kind of tomato plant this is. I think this is a brandywine because of the leaves, but I'm not sure. And y'all, this plant has been struggling for a few weeks, so hopefully it will live. Here's another tomato plant. I'm just gonna show you this side of it. I actually pulled a tomato off, and it's sitting in my window right now, but there's really just a few tomatoes on here that's going, not a lot. Down here are my other two okra, and these are burgundy okra. I have these in bricks to see how they're doing, and this one was all laid down when I put this in, and you can see it's perking up, so yay for that. And then you can see this is the tomato plant, the brandywine tomato plant. I think it's a brandywine. Here is my carrot forest, and the carrots, I've been pulling them out, and you can see I have some carrots poking up. I need to take those out because y'all, the parts that are poking up will be like all dried up. See, there's another carrot down there. So I've been pulling carrots out of here. Like every day I'll pull 1 or 2 carrots. Sometimes I pull like 5 out, and I overplanted them that way so I can take, you know, small carrots out, and they are so good and sweet. So that is the sky room that we just went over. So let's look at the squash plants. Now right next to the squash plant I have a marigold plant, and it's getting very tall. So this one's growing quite nicely. And then next to it, I have a rondinese plant, which is doing absolutely nothing, y'all. I want y'all to look at this. And I know I see some aphids on here, but this plant, you see the fruit? I get those little fruits, and then they just die off. They're not, the blossoms are not opening up, so I'm not getting any of these. This is supposed to be a prolific plant, but I have not gotten one rondinese out of here at all. So I don't know if I'm gonna grow this again. I might try one more time. This one is a yellow squash plant. I also have some radishes in here, and I've gotten several yellow squash off of here, and it's doing very well. This one is my zucchini plant. So far, I've only gotten one zucchini off of here. There's some more growing in here, as you can see. But it also has a humongous ant colony in it. So this is a trap that I made, so I'm not gonna move it, and it has borax and sugar in there. So I'm gonna try to get rid of the ants that way. So I'll let you know, I'll give you an update and let you know how that goes. And we have another sunflower that's in my boot garden here. It's not doing too good though. I had to spray it because the aphids, it got the aphids. And so I don't know how that one's gonna work out. Okay, here in the tomato trellis, I showed you the other side of this tomato plant. You can see it from this side. It's looking pretty good. This one is actually probably the healthiest old plant that I have. It has tomatoes, and knock on wood, that's all we're gonna say about it. And then over here, I think this is a Cherokee purple plant, and it doesn't have any tomatoes on it. And it is like growing up to the sky, look. It has grown over the trellis. Oh, actually it does have a tomato on it. Da-da-da. I didn't see you in there. So we got one tomato, and yes, the leaves look terrible. Y'all, I've done everything for my plants. They've got their nitrogen, I fed them, everything. And they've been watered properly, so. Y'all, I don't feel bad when my plants are sick or dying or die off, because I feel like I did everything that I could. When I see a problem, I try to research it, and then I try to take action like immediately. So if I can't save the plant or get it back healthy, I don't feel bad about it, because I feel like I did everything that I could, and I got seeds, okay? Your girl got seeds. So, yes, this plant, I'm not sure what's going on with it, but we're just gonna keep monitoring it. And here we have the nata pino. Y'all, this thing is humongous. And it just started putting on some peppers, y'all. Yay, look at that. I'm excited about that. I felt like my pepper plants are taking a long time to take off, but you know, you have to be patient. And then I'm gonna show you this side of the melons, because the melons are growing on this side of the trellis. And you'll see here, well, you can barely see because we have this inside of the some pantyhose. Now, this was the first one to start growing, y'all, but this was what happened. When I put this on, this doesn't really stretch that much, and as this grew, it kind of got a kink in the vine, and I think it kind of cut off some supplies. Now, it's still alive, but I don't think it's really growing, so I don't know how good or viable that is going to be. But this one is still growing quite nicely, and you can see I have big hands too, so, and it's quite heavy. And then I just started getting some Kajari melons. So here's one. It's beautiful. I had to take one off because a caterpillar got inside of it, and then another one died off, but let me show you. So here's another one. Yay. So I have a few melons that are growing on here, not as much as I thought would come on. See, that one I think is dying off. It's not gonna make it. And we have another melon right here. Hopefully it will make it. But no more sugar babies. So I only have like really 2 sugar babies right now growing. And then we have another tomato plant here. I think this is a Cherokee purple. We got a couple of tomatoes on here. I've taken one Cherokee purple tomato off. And then I've actually taken some tomatoes out, and I'll talk about those in a few minutes. But down here, there was a sunflower that had grown in here, and all the petals fell off. So I went ahead, I took the head off, and I pulled that up. But we have some more sunflowers growing, because I'm so glad that I did this. Y'all, I've done a lot of succession sowing, And so I did that with the flowers as well. So now as flowers are dying off, I still have more flowers coming in. So I'm kind of proud of myself for doing that. So yay, I'm not only a vegetable gardener, I'm a flower gardener. So we have some more sunflowers down here as well, and they're doing good. And these are actually looking pretty large. And these are from Bobby's garden. And I feel like they're doing better all clumped together like this than when I just put one seed in the ground. So I'm really happy about their progress. I had another sunflower that came up, and this one is the American sunflower. And I think it's about to die off too. You can see. I tried to stake it up with a bamboo pole to keep the head from falling over, because I think from my research, once the head of the sunflower kind of falls over like that, then the petals will start dropping off, and then that's it. It's a wrap. So I tried to kind of keep the petals from falling off, but well, it's been windy and it rained a little bit, and then that's what we got. So this is what the trellis is looking like here with the melon plant leaves on it. So it's providing some good shade for the tomatoes that are inside that trellis. So I'm happy about that. And then this was supposed to be a cosmos plant, but I'm still not convinced this is a cosmos. If anybody thinks they know what this is, can y'all let me know? I tried to do some plant identification and everything, but I still don't know what this is. Okay, y'all, so this is my in-ground raised bed that's right next to my dream trellis that we just went through. And it has lots of beans in it. And on this side was my contender beans. And I think they had spider mites and sun damage. And they're still producing, surprisingly. But I was watching one of Kiki Soto's videos. She's an urban girl gardening, Kiki Soto. So y'all should go and watch her channel because it's pretty good. And she showed how she kind of rescued some of her bean plants. So what I did on most of these was I cut the bad parts off, and they started growing back. But they started growing back looking the same as the other plants. So I'll show you in a moment what I'm talking about. If we look under here, we have lots of beans, and these are all butter wax beans. And I started them in the seed starting kits first, and then I put them down here. So I still have lots of room. So this is going to be one big bean patch. This is my mustard plant. I had to pull a lot of leaves off of here. This was a transplant from last year that overwintered, and I don't think it's gonna make it. I had to pull the leaves off because it had powdery mildew. On this side is the blue lake beans, and y'all, I hardly got any beans off of these. So I don't know if it's something that I'm doing wrong with these beans, but I did get quite a few beans combined, but the contenders were the best ones. But I feel like I only got like one round of beans, and hardly any off of these, and hardly off the butter wax beans. So I don't know. Once these die out, I'm gonna pull them out, and I am not gonna grow them again until it cools off. So this is the back side of the in-ground trellis here, or our raised bed. And let's just go over here. So these are the contenders, and you can see the contenders are still making blossoms, y'all. Where are these ants coming from? I'm gonna have to put like a lot of ant traps out because it looks like the ants are just attacking this little bitty plant. It doesn't even have any aphids on it. That's weird. They're just all over that plant. And over here along the trellis here, I put some Kentucky, Kentucky, they're not Kentucky Wonders, they're pole beans. I know they're called Old Homesteads, but I think they're Kentucky Wonder beans. I don't know. And they're pole beans, and you can see they're going up. See, here's some right there. So those are doing good. They're supposed to be heat tolerant, so that's why I put those in. And then I also put in some lima beans. And y'all, I didn't know lima beans trellis, but I noticed that it had like the tendrils. So I said to myself, let me put a stick here and see what happens. I think the lima beans are going to be trellising along with the pole beans. So all of these back here are lima beans and pole beans. I also have my mustard greens that I grew from seeds, and they're just slowly growing. But I'm gonna leave them in, but I won't plant anymore until it gets cooler outside. And y'all, this is the melon plants from the backside as well. Y'all look, that's my neighbor's cat. His name is Munchie. And Munchie watches me when I come out here in the garden. Okay, this is the Eve trellis. And you can see things are growing up it. I still feel like this was kind of an unproductive trellis. It didn't kind of work out the way I wanted it to, but that's okay. We can rework things. Okay, let's start here. This is a cucumber plant, and actually the leaves were all kind of turning white, and they're a little bit crispy. I gave it fertilizer and ironite and all kinds of stuff, so it's greening back up. It doesn't have anything growing on it right now. I did get some cucumbers off of it, but I'm not too worried about my cucumber plants. They were really unproductive, and I just feel like the heat just came on, so I'm not exactly sure if it was the seeds, because all of this variety of cucumber all did the same thing. It started, it just didn't grow. You can see the leaves are small, the vines are short. This one doesn't have any blooms on it right now, although they are all starting to rebloom again. It's just weird. But anyway, I put in some Armenian cucumbers here. So when these start getting going, I'll go ahead and pull these out. And these are the pickling cucumbers. It's pick a bushel cucumbers. And I'm not sure of the maker, and so I can't tell you that. But also in here, I put some beets in here too. And I didn't expect those to grow, but they're growing, and also some cilantros in here. And y'all look, I didn't expect my nasturtiums to have flowers, but they got flowers. And I believe Bobby gave me these. And it's kind of like an African mix. I forgot what the name of it is, but there's two kinds in here. But this one, yeah, I think it's two different plants that are making these, but y'all, that's pretty. Look at that. And then we have the yellow ones too. The yellow ones started popping up first. And I know you can eat these, but I just want to look at these. I want them to be pretty and attract pollinators. Up here, we have the purple hull peas, which are getting attacked by, look at that, these crazy ants. They're like crazy today. And I have been out here already this morning. So this is like their daily run through, I guess. It's not that hot because the sun is down, but anywho, these are the cowpeas or black-eyed peas. And I picked lots of these off already and cooked them. So we just have a few. So I don't know if it's going to have another run or not. They are going up the trellis as well. So we shall see. There's a lot of stuff intermixed in here. And then this is supposed to be a roselle plant. I'm not sure if that's the roselle that's coming up or not. We shall see. And down here, this is mint, and it's starting to take off. So I think the heat is helping it, but I need to replant some of that. And then this was the cilantro, and the sun got that. This was supposed to be chives, obviously not chives. And then up here is another one of the pickling cucumber plants. You can see how short that vine is, y'all. These plants have been in since February, and I've only gotten a few cucumbers. Look at all those cucumbers on there. They're just really weird. I don't know. But I have 2 Armenians down here. I planted 2 by mistake, but I'm gonna leave them in here and let those go. Okay, inside here, if you look back towards the back, I know there's probably a spider web in front of me, but you'll see it in these 2 pots back here. These are my tomatillos, and they haven't started making tomatillos, and y'all, they have spider mites as well, and some sun damage too. It seems like that's going hand in hand, or either that's just all spider mite damage. I don't know, y'all. Last year, I do not remember fighting spider mites, but I think this year we are. So I've been doing spraying and things like that, so these plants are struggling a bit. But like I said, I'm not gonna be sad about it. And y'all can look up here inside the trellis. That's one of the Chinese long beans. And I did harvest all the Chinese long beans that I had in here, and they just haven't put on any more Chinese long beans just yet. And then we have another, I think this is a Cherokee purple, and I don't think we have any, yes we do. We have a tomato there. And then also, ooh, we got peppers on this one. I think this is the Nata Pino back here, but I'm not sure. And then over here I have some sweet pepper plants, banana peppers. And then we have another Cherokee purple. I must have the Cherokee purples in the same place. That was by accident. And we do have some cracking that just came on because it rained last night. But I always feel under the bottom of the tomatoes, which I don't really like doing because you never know what you're gonna touch. But just to see if we have any blossom end rot. But that one's doing good. That's the only tomato on this one. And then this is the back side of the trellis. And here we have a straight 8 cucumbers here. And this one is kind of growing kind of in a stunty kind of way too, which makes me think it's just the weather that's kind of affecting everything. I don't know. I just feel like the cucumbers are growing weird because they did really good last year. And this year they're just like, whatever. And then we have the cowpeas and the Chinese long beans. And it looks like the Chinese long beans might be growing some more if I can keep these doggone ants off. So it looks like they have some little buds coming on. And over here we have another, that's a cucumber plant, y'all. That's a horrible looking cucumber plant, isn't it? Look how short that vine is. Just terrible. And we have, I did get some good cucumbers off of here. I think 1. And then we have another Armenian in here. So yay for that. The Armenians, I hope, are going to come to the rescue. Again, because they're supposed to be heat tolerant. And I hope they grow more vigorously than the pickling cucumbers, because I don't know what happened with those. And then down here we have my kale forest, and it's growing nicely. And I keep saying I'm going to cover it up, and the leaf miners are starting to invade. I'm going to do a little Hulk smash here. And then also we have some Shasta daisies, and I actually transplanted one today. And it's looking kind of haggard, but These are all good to go. Okay, y'all, so I have like this whole line of plants right here that was not here the last time I did the tour. So let's try to go through this really quickly. These two are some fabric pots that I got, and I just transplanted these this morning, so they are definitely looking terrible. But we have that's a black-eyed Susan. And we have basil. I put in a Shasta daisy and also a foxglove, and so I hope they all recover. Over here I put in a borage, and the borage went bad like immediately. I did spray it with some soapy water, and it did not like that, so I might have to just pull this out because I think I immediately killed it. And then we have some sage, and over here is a Shasta daisy also, and then we have a basil in here. So this pot was full of basils, and I've been transplanting them all over the garden, and so I still have quite a few left, and so they're going to get some new homes. This is a new this is kind of a new plant, and you can see the little babies on here. This is a yellow squash, and it's doing really nicely. Now this was a tomato cutting, and it's just growing really stunty. There was another tomato plant in here, and this one just never grew that big. I see ants in here too. And then we have borage. This was the original container with the borage in it, and I took some of them out, and some of them are doing good and some are not. And these look kind of marginal at best. Over here, oh yeah, I meant to put some dirt in here because I transplanted some of these. These are marigold plants. They're getting kind of tall, and they're also starting to bud. You can see here. And I don't know what's going on with this one. This looks really weird. Which one is this? I should pull this out. It looks diseased. I'll cut that down later. And then over here is the black-eyed Susans, and you can see they started popping up. Y'all, I did these from seeds. I didn't think they were ever gonna bud, but they are looking quite beautiful, and I've been transplanting some to some other places. I don't know if they're gonna live or not. I hope they do, but they are beautiful. Now, let's talk tomatoes again. Okay, y'all, so the tomato plants. In the trellis here, you saw I had like a big empty spot on the tomatoes over here. I know I was all up in y'all grill, but I took some tomatoes out because I tried to quarantine them a little bit because I think I might have a bacterial wilt going on with the tomatoes. And I'm not sure, so I'm going to show you the tomatoes and show you what I'm talking about. They're not looking good. So this is one of the tomato plants, and it has been doing fairly good. It has blossoms, but I don't have any tomatoes on this particular plant here. And actually, it doesn't look too bad, but I suspect that it will, because you can see here, see how it's wilting? This is what's happening, like the bottom leaves are wilting and just falling off. And I don't know if it's a watering issue or if they have a bacterial wilt, because on this plant over here was next to that guy, and y'all look, almost all the leaves are gone. I've been taking them off. They just been wilting off, you can see. You can see under there how they're wilting off. I got tomatoes on here, and actually they're starting to turn. Oops. So we have tomatoes on here, and they're starting to turn, but I don't have too much hope for this plant, because y'all, it's just going up slowly. Like in the last few days, the leaves have just been drooping and falling off, and that's the same thing that's starting to happen with this one. So they may not make it, but that's okay. I'll just plant more for the fall. And this is a new one. This is a yellow squash plant as well. So it's a new baby. Y'all look at the basil in here though. Basil's doing good. And next to it we have another yellow squash as well, and that's a baby. And next to it we have a marigold plant. And then this is my yellow squash plant. You can see here. We got one on here. Oop. And the leaves are small, but it's still giving me squash, so I'm gonna leave it in. And then we have a sunflower, which is growing kind of weird. Sunflower plant. Then over here we have radishes. And I've already pulled a bunch of radishes out of here because y'all, they don't need to be super big for me. So some of these will probably be coming out tomorrow, like this one. I think that's a Parisian one, you can see in here. So this is my radish forest, and I just take a few of these out every day, just like the carrots. Something's been eating on them. I did find one, I found one caterpillar, but that was it. So I don't know what's been eating on them, but that's okay because they're not going to be in for too much longer. I was eating the leaves on these, so I just make sure that everything's clean. And once you have a garden, you just get used to eating things that have holes in them, but you don't want too many holes, and you want to make sure you're not eating whatever's making those holes. All right, next we have the strawberry plant. Y'all see, it rained yesterday. Our first rain after a couple of months, and that's all we got. Hardly nothing. And the strawberry plants are doing good. I can probably take this strawberry off because it's probably not going to make it till tomorrow. So let's go ahead. Oop, I took it off kind of crappy, but it's kind of a little one. But thank you, plant, anyway. There's more strawberries coming on all of these. And there's some over here, some small ones. So the strawberry plants are doing well. Not bad. Sometimes I get some goofy strawberries off of them, and sometimes I get some really nice ones. Oh, I didn't show you all these in the bricks. These are sunflowers as well. These are American sunflowers. There was only supposed to be one, but it ended up with two. And then I don't know which one that is. And then these are some of Bobby's sunflowers, so they're looking nice. And we have one sunflower over here that's growing. Okay, down here we have eaten up plant, but it's been sprayed. So those bites were when it was like little babies, and I didn't take the leaves off. But this is echinacea. So I have a few echinacea plants here. And then over here is bee balm. So I'm gonna start transferring some of these plants as well to other places. So this is the friendly garden here. And the friendly garden is not looking that friendly. I just need to get in here and do a whole bunch of stuff. Because this down here was supposed to be kohlrabi. Y'all, it's just a big mess now. And I could use this space. So I'll be doing some digging in here pretty soon. And then over here on this vertical doohickey here, y'all, I don't really like this. I gotta figure out what I can put in here that this vertical planter will serve well. And so I do have some Swiss chard and some kale, and this is cilantro, and it's doing pretty good. And then everything else is kind of like wishy-washy. Like, I think it's just weeds at this point. And then inside here, y'all, look at that. Ooh. Oh, look at him, he scared me. We got some celery, and there is some spinach back there, but I don't know, y'all. There's a lot of weeds in here, and the lettuce looks terrible, but the onions are okay. I mean, this place back here is just, I don't know. It's like the wasteland. I just need to get in there and clean that up. But y'all know, we do what we can in the time that we have, and you know, we do what we can. All right, next let's look at this, and this is the Luffa plant, and you can see it's going on up. Oh yeah, we're moving on up. So it's actually 3 plants in here. The bottom leaves, they're not so big. Like, the leaves are very unimpressive to me. I thought these leaves would be really big. And y'all, look, ants. Ants, ants, ants. The ants love the loofah plant. And all of my loofah leaves have like these blue spots. If anybody has a loofah plant, can y'all tell me if that's normal? I don't know if that's like a powdery mildew or something, but they've all had the spots since I started this plant. But it is going up. And y'all, something that was really kind of exciting to me is how these tendrils, like, they just choke out whatever they get on. Look at that. So I was worried about how this was gonna go up here, y'all. Once those tendrils get close to something, they're like hanging on. So again, that's the loofah plant. Here down at the bottom, we have some more basil. I just stuck those in the bricks. There was supposed to be chives in here, but the seeds were really old, so I didn't really expect those to come up, and they did not. Now this is kind of a new area for me, and I think I've shown y'all a smidge. And these are some more tomato plants, and these were also taken off. These were propagated, not done by seeds, and they're doing really good back here. They get like partial sun, so they're not in full sun for the whole time everything else is, so I have high hopes for them. And I built kind of a makeshift trellis, you can see here. And I'll probably talk about the trellising systems that I'm using on another video, but they're looking pretty good, and they all have basils inside. So they're either the Cherokee purple or they are the Cherokee purple or the Brandywine. And I think this one might be a husky cherry tomato. I'm not sure. We shall see. And since they're not with the other tomatoes, they may not succumb to that wilt. So y'all, it is beyond hot out here, and the girl is getting ready to go back in. So I hope y'all enjoyed our tour for today. And it's the end of May when we're doing this, so I need to go to the beach after this. So if y'all have any questions, let me know, and let me know what's your favorite part of the garden. And if anybody has a loofah plant, y'all please give me some advice. I can use it. Thumbs up and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next video. Stay tuned, and I'll give you an overview of the whole garden.